Welcome back to another Ottawa Citizens Senators One-on-One. I'm pleased to be joined by former NHL executive and former Senators executive Pierre McGuire and longtime NBC broadcaster, well-respected voice of hockey in Canada and the United States. Pierre, great to see you. And as we speak today, the Ottawa Senators are sitting in a playoff spot after 2 months, 25 games into the regular season. Have they been what you've expected? I know you watch a lot of them.
Yeah, they've been a little bit better too, especially when you consider the Chuck injury, you consider the Shabbat injury, you consider all the stuff they had to deal with a lot of teams having hot starts, especially in the Atlantic Division. I think Ottawa's done fantastically well. That was an amazing way to finish up a 7-game road trip by winning the 7th game in Montreal, Bruce, especially after the way they played in Dallas on Sunday night. I just wasn't very impressed with that, and I don't think their team was either after the first 20 minutes. But man, oh man, did they bounce back. And last night, I thought that was vintage Brady Tkachuk. That was vintage Jake Sanderson. And I thought Linus Ullmark was spot on. That was a tremendous road game for Ottawa.
You look at them right now. They are ranked, I believe, as we speak today, fourth in the National Hockey League in scoring from their defensemen. When do we start talking about, and I know you know him well, when do we start talking about Jake Sanderson as a Norris Trophy candidate?
I already have. I've been on a lot of different podcasts and a lot of different shows, Bruce, and one of them is with Jeff Merrick. And I said to Jeff that I thought, you had McGuire and Sanderson 1-2 right now in the league. And that's not to take anything away from Quinn Hughes, or that's not to take anything away from any of the other great defensemen. There are Lane Hudson down in Montreal, Adam Fox before he got hurt, Miro Heiskanen down in Dallas. There's so many great defensemen in the league. Roman Josi, if he'd been healthy down in Nashville. But it's hard to say that Sanderson and McGuire are not the two best. And quite frankly, McGuire's probably got a little bit of an edge on him. He's got a little bit more experience. But man, oh man, Jake's something special. And that was a tremendous draft pick by the Senators scouting staff. And the development that he's gone through is fantastic. I'm really, really happy for the young player. And I'm thrilled for the fans in Ottawa. They get to see him.
What makes him so special?
He's tough as nails, number one. Number two, he's got a lot of the same athleticism of his father. I coached his father for 2 years. There's a lot of the same fast twitch muscle fiber that his dad had. He's just so defensively aware. He's an amazing cardiovascular machine, so he can handle long sequences on the ice, which big defensemen have to be able to do. And I think the big thing is he's a combination of what Brian Leetch used to be and what Scott Niedermayer used to be. And that's a really special player. So he's got both of them, and they're Hall of Famers. I mean, Leetch was a Hall of Famer and still is, and Niedermayer was a Hall of Famer and still is. And they were right in the wheelhouse of my career as a coach in the league. I can't say enough good things about both of those guys, and I'm so happy for the Sanderson family. Jake is a special young man. He really is.
I think I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Tyler Kleven, because you spoke about Thomas Chabot being absent, but I know that you and Pierre Dorion went to UND more than once to try and get Tyler Kleven out of school. Did you think he would be what he's become? And maybe tell our listeners what he's become. I think I know, but I think they'd like to know.
When I saw Tyler the first time, it was before his draft year, which was 2020. And I said, man, oh man, he's a throwback. He's an old school player. He's a tough kid. He can skate. He's big. He's rangy. I think Pierre Dorion went 2 or 3 times. I think I went 5 or 6 times out to Dakota, if I remember correctly. I tried to get Tyler out numerous times to leave the same year Jake left. Tyler was promised a lot by the Dakota coaching staff, and I think he's a proud North Dakota kid, and he wanted to stay there and spend another year with his teammates. Some unfinished business. They weren't able to obviously win the national championship, but I can't say enough good things about Tyler. So what I saw in Tyler was big, tough, rangy, vastly underrated first pass defenseman. And just with a little bit of fine tuning, I thought he would be a top 4. And if not a top 4, he'd be a really elite number 5 for an NHL team.
One of the guys who I think has stepped up in the absence of Brady Tkachuk was Tim Stutzle. And to me, like, this guy has just taken his game to another level.
Bruce, I'm so happy you said that. And I got to tell you the facts of the matter. I remember working in Ottawa my second time around, and I used to get to the rink very early. And maybe Jack Capuano would be there just a little bit before I would be there. But there was one player that was there early all the time, and it was Timmy. And
Really,
Timmy was always putting the work in, and I was so fond of him. And just as a person, I knew how good a player. I think we all knew how good a player he was going to be. But what's kicked in is there's a physicality to his game now. There's a physical maturity to his game, Bruce, that I don't know if a lot of people were expecting to see, but it's definitely there. And man, to see the energy and the passion he plays with, he's a star player in the league. Timmy's a star player, and he's earned every bit of it, Bruce. He's such a hard worker. I can't say enough good things about him.
I just think he's also playing Pierre at both ends of the ice, which is something, let's be honest, we didn't see early in his career.
No. One of the guys that's not going to get enough credit for it, because obviously it was a tough trade emotionally, is when they traded Josh Norris away to get Dylan Cousins. Josh is somebody that I have so much respect for. Again, a kid I spent a lot of time with. And Josh could play every facet of the game. If you were to talk to Brady, or if you were to talk to Drake, if you were to talk to any of the guys who are around, even Tommy, about Norris, they'll tell you that Josh could play every facet of the game. And I think Timmy studied him. I don't know that, but I think Timmy studied the way that Josh played. And because of that, I think he realized if you're going to be a star player in this league, you're going to have to play every facet of the game. And I think Timmy's doing that now. I think for you to pick that up is excellent, because it's true. It's very true.
I look at this team and look, you and I know, I don't know how they're winning having the 32nd ranked penalty kill in the league. How are they doing it?
Well, they get a lot of 5-on-5 goals. They don't give up a lot of 5-on-5 chances. They do a real good job keeping plays to the outside. They don't give up a lot of second or third chance opportunities. We saw that last night against Montreal. Yeah. Outside of the power play goals, obviously there wasn't much going on for Montreal. So I think that's part of it. It must be Travis is somebody I've known a long time. It must be driving him nuts, because Travis, he was an elite penalty killer. He was a really, really good shutdown guy. And I'm just watching that and going, and I watch all their games and I'm going, oh man,
I know
he must be going nuts.
Well, he said to us at one point that, he said, I'm sick of you guys asking about it. I said, we are too. Just get better.
I think I like that you did that. I think he knows, and I think eventually it's going to get there. They got to be more aggressive. I think they allow too much time and space. That leads, if you watch the goal last night, that Slavkovsky scores in the back door, that's too much time and space. You look at the Suzuki goal again, too much time and space. They got to do a better job taking away time and space. And I know everybody says, oh, yeah, but you're going to get burned. Okay, get burned that way. Get burned being aggressive rather than being passive resistant.
The other thing, that sort of leads me to your best penalty killer, Pierre, and that's your goaltender. And Linus Ullmark has kind of gone like this.
Yep.
How have you felt about his game?
There are nights where I think he's so good. I'll use an example, the Vegas game. The Vegas game.
Fantastic.
That's as well as he's played all year. So I think you would agree with that. But what I liked in that game, it wasn't just the way he was coming up with timely saves. It's what he did in the shootout and the composure he had in the shootout. And then afterwards, it was the reaction after the shootout. So it shows me that he believes in himself. He trusts himself. There's going to be a lot of positive energy. Obviously, last night he didn't have to do much in Montreal, but I thought he was good. Can he be more consistent? The answer is yes. I think he knows that, though. One of the things I love about Ottawa, and Marilyn is somebody who was there when I was there, is just starting to come up. Soldgard was another guy that was there when I was there. He's just starting to come up. Justin Peters is a really good goalie coach. He's not a little bit good. He's a really good goalie coach. So they got guys that are going to make – those guys, I should say, that are there, they're going to be made better because Justin's there. Justin's a really good goalie coach.
Do you find that with Ullmark, he- I, I don't. This isn't the right term. Okay, you're going to find the right term for me. Does his battle level have to be a little bit better?
Oh, I like battle level. I think battle level is good. I coached a guy named Tommy Barrasso that was about as tough
Okay.
as you could have, and his battle level was always high. Same with, if you look at all the Sean Burke, I had Sean in Hartford. His battle level was always good. Marty Berdur, I tried to recruit Marty. His battle level was always good. Can guys get better? Yeah, they can get better at that.
Okay.
Can Linus get better at that? Probably. Could he be more aggressive with his stick? Probably. I think Justin will talk to him about that over time. They'll break down tape. That's the thing. I'm so encouraged by the staff that's there, the coaching staff. I'm so encouraged by, Nolan Baumgartner was a really useful defenseman when he played. He understood the sport, and he had to get better at it because he was a little bit undersized. So he did get better. Travis was an elite two-way centerman. He was really good. I don't have to tell you about Daniel. Daniel was a special player. And
Yeah.
Mike Yeo was not an elite pro player, but Mike Yeo was a competent, hard, tough guy. I had him in Hartford. We sent him down, but
And he's a good coach.
that's what I'm saying. He understands the sport. So there are a lot of guys on that staff, all the guys in that staff that I think are good. And Bruce, I'm really comfortable telling you this. Most teams in the league overlook the internal development of their NHL players. They just do. It's one of the most important things that can happen right now is internal development of your pro players. And you're seeing that with your Ottawa team. And I'll give you a case in point. Look at Pinto and look at Amadio. Those two guys are really important players. Now,
Yeah.
Giroux doesn't have to get any better. He's maxed out. But he plays on that line with those two guys. That line is really good. They're really good because two guys got better being there. Amadio got better and Pinto got better.
Last question: are they a contender, or is? I mean, I'm looking at Colorado right now with I think 5 regulation losses, but you know, I think their goal this season, Pierre, is to host a home playoff game. Like start at home in the playoffs. That's a better way to put it. Can they achieve that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Their window to win is probably 5 to 7 years now. They got a good window, a healthy window. As long as Brady stays healthy, Tommy stays healthy. Jake's so important. But Timmy, you already correctly talked about Timmy. They got a lot of good stuff there. I would be shocked if they didn't host a playoff game this year. I also would be shocked if they didn't get to the second round. The East is wide open, Bruce.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people thought Florida would be in this predicament, but injuries have ravaged them. 3 straight trips to the final, 2 straight Stanley Cup wins, and you add in that Four Nations event last year where a lot of their guys got nicked up. They might not make the playoffs, and that's not a knock on them. That's just a reality of how hard it is. And I look at, I'm looking at Toronto. They played really well in Florida last night, but is Toronto going to make it? Nobody really knows. Toronto's got a big game tomorrow. If Toronto goes into Carolina tomorrow, Bruce, and wins that game, they got a chance to get back on their horse. They do. But if you look at it all, like Tampa's been surprising people. They're winning games without Braden Point. They're winning games without Ryan McDonough. They're winning games without Eric Chernak. They're winning games without Victor Hedman. That's unbelievable. So This thing's wide open. The whole East is wide open. So I'm more bullish on Ottawa. I think Montreal and Ottawa could have this long-standing feud. It'll remind those of us that are old enough to remember, and you're one of them, of the great Calgary, Edmonton days. I think Ottawa, Montreal is gearing up for about 5 to 7 years of that. I really do.
Well, Pierre, I really appreciate your time. You are a big part of the eye test podcast on the Sick Network with our good friend James Murphy, a good Irish boy. God love him. I just love that guy. And you're also big part of Jeff Merrick and the Sheet, and just really enjoy your analysis, and always good to talk to you, Pierre.
You're such a good friend, Bruce. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate being on with you. Say hello to everybody in Ottawa, especially those young kids at the rink. I got a lot of time for all those kids. They're a great group of kids in Ottawa. They really are.
For the Ottawa Citizens Sens one-on-one, we appreciated having former NHL general manager, coach, and our good friend Pierre McGuire.